What's up, everyone? Joey Blush Response here, and I just got back from Superbooth, and I've got my roundup of the things that I found most interesting. A couple comments on the show. This year felt a little underwhelming in some ways because a lot of manufacturers just had stuff they had shown before, and a lot of manufacturers also chose to announce things well before Superbooth. So it kind of had the effect that I was there and I was like, oh, I've seen that thing, I've heard that thing. So there wasn't much new per se. But with that in mind, I did find cool stuff, and you know, there's always a good idea to be found somewhere. If you saw me on one of my performances at the Game Changer audio booth or at the Berlin Modular Society event, thanks for coming out. And there's going to be more soon. Static Bloom and I are doing a performance June 28th for Hands Productions. It's a collaborative performance for our new record, Folding In, that's out on Hands right now. So looking forward to seeing you there. Now let's get into the list. First up is the Game Changer audio motor pedal. No surprise, I love Game Changer and everything they do in the motor pedal's sick. I did a performance in their booth, and Ilya from Game Changer played guitar through the motor pedal along with my synth stuff, and his guitar sounded insane. It sounded better than what I was doing. So I'm looking forward to the motor pedal. I will probably get one in for review and put all kinds of crazy shit to it. It's a great idea. I also told them they should make it into a module. Like a motor oscillator. Let's see what happens with that. Next up is the Fairy Island Modular 4Cs, which is an interesting wavetable oscillator with 3 axes. It kind of did a piston Hana type thing, but with a new twist on it, and actually the firmware had a glitch in it that sounded really cool. I want to throw in there that I couldn't get recordings of a lot of these because this year's Superbooth was more packed than I've ever seen it. It was almost impossible to get a booth alone. So just keeping that in mind. Next up, IntelliGel had 2 strong offerings with the multi-grain granular synthesizer and the Swells reverb. The Swells was new for Superbooth, and it's that usual IntelliGel quality. They're always high-end, they're always high quality. I like their stuff. The multi-grain looks insane. I actually got a chance to play with it at Elevator Sound in Bristol when I was on tour with Frontline last week. Or the week before. I'm so lost on time these days. But anyway, I thought it sounded awesome there, and the Swells also just has that great high sound quality. Reviews will be coming of both in the future, so keep a lookout for that. Another cool one I tried was the Clank Uranograph. This is a new synth. They obviously were aping the Somatera a bit, but trying to make something a bit more usable. I don't know if their touch sensors are as reactive as the Somatera, because when I used the Somatera, it felt really... I could really feel the drama in just light touches versus heavy touches. It was really impressive. So I didn't get to fully hash that out and see if the Uranograph goes that far. But what I did see is it has a lot of user-friendly features that make it a much easier experience to use overall than the Somatera, and it sounded really cool. So I'm curious to see more from them. Maybe I can review it. We'll see. Next up, it was kind of a guerrilla marketing thing, but the Constantine Croak, or Croak by Constantine. This guy basically flagged me down, and he had shown me this module that he had in a backpack with headphones, and it was a interesting stereo voice that seemed to have something related to FM or feedback, or I don't know what going on. All I know is that it sounded really cool, and I want to hear more about it and learn more about it. It was so guerrilla. He just like found me. He's like, Joey, I got this thing you got to check out. And he like pulled it out of his jacket. I felt like I was in a back alley somewhere. It was funny. It was cool. Sounded dope. Next up is the Magella Implexus. I realized this is not new, but it was my first time playing with it, and the way I look at it is if like Bob Moog made a Buchla synth, or the inverse, if Don Buchla made a Mini Moog, because it's like that kind of big, fat, burly, aggressive sound, but with wave folding and FM and stuff. Just really impressive. I did manage to get a clip of it. There will be here, and I'm gonna see if I can review it because I was really impressed by the sound. Next up is the Make Noise Polymaths. This is further in line with their NUSS, New Universal Synthesizer System. And judging by the name, I'm going to guess that they're leading to some sort of polyphonic system. I can't say for sure, but polymaths, it's 8 envelopes and also 8 oscillators. It looks a bit like the Mangrove, the Just Friends by Mannequins, but with Make Noises vibe. And I think it's cool, useful. I see a lot of use cases for this one, so I'm excited for it, and I'll be reviewing it. Next up, WMD had the wave folder to end all wave folders in the Scorpion. I tried it. I played with it. It is badass. It sounds incredible. There's so many functions and ways to fucking fold your waves and distort, and it was the kind of soup that I go for. I really liked it, so that's on the list for sure. And best in show, no surprises here, Oxy 1 Mark II. This was announced earlier, but as you all know, Oxy 1 has become my favorite sequencer. Mark II adds more stuff, more things I want, more performance features, more tracks, more everything, and I'm super excited to get my hands on it. My favorite sequencer getting better, obvious pick for best in show. So that's the list. Kept it relatively short this time around. As I said, this year didn't have so much new stuff, but the new stuff that was there is interesting, and I'm happy about it. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for watching all this time. If you want to support me more, check out my new release of Static Bloom. Check out Bandcamp, and check out all the different stuff I have going on. Affiliate links, Patreon, like and subscribe, all that. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.